Plenty of people have asked me what goes through my mind or what am I supposed to do with it all. Because in the mind of someone like me, all there is this constant stream of noise. You have everything from what I did that day to what I did last week, to what I did last year, what I did, 10 years, before now, for this moment, which is 2017. Nothing really new has happened. It's really the same old stuff. Nothing really has changed. I follow the same exact routine I've been following since I was 4 years old. Nothing new. Why? Because that's just who I am. I don't believe in change. I hate it. And in my world, change can either make me or break me, or in some cases just really screw me up. And it has already done basically that. In one night, I went from loving who I was to hating myself in less than 10 minutes. Everything was fine, and then it suddenly wasn't. Suddenly, it felt like I might just end myself, because what am I doing here? It's like the big question that we all ask ourselves at least once in our life. What's our reason for being? When I wake up every morning, I look around me and I wonder, what am I doing here? Because it feels like an alien place. A theory of, coming from Mars, perhaps maybe is true in my case. I'm an alien, I just observe the human race. I've never truly fit in anywhere. I've never really belonged, and I've always wanted to keep it that way. We're all a little bit different. All of us are on the spectrum in one way or another, from that huge sliding scale from 1 to 10. We're all a little bit different. And yes, I am extremely high functioning. There isn't much wrong with me by looking on the outside. Yesterday at the Vermont Quill Festival, I went into total meltdown because someone touched me twice in less than, nanosecond. And it was one of the worst things I've ever had to go through. And what bothered me the most was the fact that afterwards, this woman had the gall to look at me and go, and she goes, I understand. And that to me is a punch in the gut. That's the worst thing that somebody could ever do to me, is tell me I understand, when they fully have no idea what the hell I go through every single day. If I could do a complete, video of what my average day is like, it sure as hell ain't easy. One day is completely different from the next, and some days, hell, I can't even get out of bed. It freaking hurts. Every nerve ending in my body just screams all the damn time. And this constant stream of noise does not always help anything. And in some cases, it makes me really wonder, why do I even bother? Why do I even bother? People always ask me, it'd be good, going to school, and educate, for the fact that teachers have no idea what the hell they're doing. That so many kids are pushed through that system. And how much do those teachers really understand about those kids? How much they really understand what's going on in that child's brain. And I said absolutely nothing. They have no understanding because they've never been that child. And it's not easy, because no one understands any of us. Even teachers who claim, I get it. No, you don't. No one fully understands what it's like to be us. To be so damn different, we're put in a box of our own. Sure, I love standing out, like being me. There are great things about the way I work, but at the same time, there's some things that piss me off. Some things that even I can't deal with because it hurts, or that I can't put into words. Like yesterday, hell, I couldn't even talk after, my meltdown. I stuttered my way through the rest of that day because no words came. And she should have known, as I told my mother. I turned around with a big sign on my back. Meow. Please don't touch me. But people don't get it. I can tell them that for the rest of my life, and they still won't get it. Because humans are naturally touchy-feely type of people, and I'm not a touchy-feely type of person. You touch me and you're risking death, plain and simple. And it hurts like hell. I always tell people, it's like being hit with a cattle prod in your stomach a couple of times. And if that says it all, then don't do it. I'm the idiot doing this video in a bathroom because I don't need, the world coming down on me. AKA my parents. And this is technically the quietest place in this building. But it's all these small, quote-unquote coping mechanisms that even I sometimes have trouble with. And plus with autism, I have lots of other shit wrong. And put them all together, it's like one of the worst situations a human could ever have to go through. I had 5 breakdowns today, in one day. And that's more than I've had in a very long time. I'm trying to bounce back from yesterday. Yesterday was a very, very long day. Yeah, I enjoyed it, a lot of fun. But at the same time, I'm now coming back from a lot of shit that I wish I didn't have to deal with. It's like wall-to-wall people for 8 hours. And it was not the most enjoyable thing. It was an anxiety cesspit, as I worded it, because that's what it was. And it was a constant, being bumped and moved and people touching, and it's something that I absolutely despise with every fiber of my being. But I would not change it for the world. I know some of the people who come to me and ask, if you could, have a cure or be reborn, I guess, as not having autism, would you? And I looked at them and had to laugh and say, no way in hell, because I love who I am. Sure, it's frustrating, it's aggravating, no one understands me. I have a close family friend who gets very squeamish because she doesn't understand. She doesn't get that there's so much shit that I can't word, or that I get frustrated with because she doesn't get it. Yeah, she has a son who's special needs also, but she doesn't get that I'm the most different person that she has in her life. And yeah, she's known me since I was 6 months old, which it's a very long time, and I'm 24 now, so it's been a while. And even all these years later, she doesn't get it. And in a way, it makes me crack up laughing over the whole thing, because you're not the first person to be like that. Even, I have friends who've known me forever, or just people in general, because everyone around here who's known me for many, many, many years, as long as I've basically lived here, they have no idea. Like someone down the road had noticed, that everyone said they just don't see me for a week or two. And I had mentioned that, I'm on the spectrum, and there are days that I can't get out of bed because I hurt, or there are days I can't word anything, or there are days I run on this with, listening to music and to block out sound because my ears kill, or I went through majority of my elementary years and high school wearing sunglasses because my eyes hurt like hell, especially with fluorescent lights, and no teacher understood that, and therefore they were taken away, and I'd go back to the principal's office to get them again, and that type of stuff would really get on my nerves. And people saying, oh, that stuff never happened to you. Yeah, it did. I was one of that school's first officially diagnosed individuals on the spectrum back in 1999. And No, it was not easy, even from day one. I hated that place. When I was out, it was like the biggest joy in my life. I'm the one who burnt my high school yearbook. You know, because like this is my biggest, fuck you to what that place did to me. I don't miss it. I'll never go to high school reunion, I'll never really talk to any of those people ever again. It's done and over with. It's all because of what that school put me through. And that school will continue to deny it until the day, that place crashes and burns, which, if it did, I'd be the only person in this town happy. Because no one understands what really happened. But that's a video for another time, not this one. This one, it's more like, I guess, I have simply explaining that, yeah, I know plenty of people whose children are somehow on the spectrum, and it's not easy, especially being a parent, but at the same time, do you know what it's like to be a child? Could you put yourself into those child's shoes for a day and really understand what it is? To go through sensory overload that is so bad, you have forced meltdowns from it, or you have anxiety so bad, that, your stomach hurts and you get really nasty cramps and you can't do anything because you hurt and you're miserable. Yeah. Or, like I have days I don't sleep. The longest I've gone without sleep has been 2.5 weeks, and I crashed for 4 days after. My father almost had to bring me to the ER to make sure I wasn't dead. And it was the fact I didn't get any sleep. And if I'm not tired, I don't sleep. And if I'm not hungry, I don't bother eating because I'm not hungry. If I do, it's really, really late at night, like midnight or 1 o'clock. But even then, it's a forced thing that I have to force myself to do, because I could live an entire week without eating, and then I'm I'd be dead. But and because all the paperwork of figuring out what the hell happened to me, and my parents yelling and screaming over the fact that perhaps they should have made me when I was younger, and a big long game of trying to figure out what happened to me, when perhaps it's something as simple as the idiot forgot to eat one day. But I love going to the Vermont Quill Festival every year. I always have lots of fun, but it's always the next 2 days after that. It's a recovery period for me because I get so exhausted. It is, and the biggest thing, it's sensory overload plus I think 1,000. So I went down to the Traverse Day, last year down in Saratoga. It's a big horse racing festival. It's 14 races in a day, and it was that way that time. 50,000 people there. It was the most, but the process to me was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen in my entire life. I never had a chance to go to stakes races until then. Till I convinced my father that I would kill to go. So he, of course, brought me. This year, I'm going back again. But at least this year, I know what to expect. Lots of people. I know every year at the Vermont Quill Festival, it's always busy. It's always extremely packed. But every year it's a rehabbing to get back to my memory bank. Go through my memory bank and remember what it was like. But I always forget. By the time I get there, there's not it's always the first thing in the morning, 10 o'clock, not between 9 and 10. It's not usually as packed. But by the middle of the day, it's still one of the most busiest, festivals on this side of North America. It's worth going to if you're around here. But sometimes I feel like I don't know what to do, or I can't get anything out the way I'd like to get the words out, or sometimes I feel like I'm hopeless and I might as well just curl up in a hole and die somewhere, because I'd be better off there. But these are the days that truthfully I actually enjoy being who I am. Good days that I can actually, express, because I don't do videos as often as I did. I was doing videos much more often than this, but I guess for some reason it kind of hit me. I might as well just do one to, explain what's been going on. where sometimes I don't really know what to do, or that I'm lost as hell, and I just can't get out of this continuous cycle that I've got myself into. You know, it continues to go on and on and on and on and on and never really ends. Story of my life. And it has not changed in many, many years. Only thing that's changed now is that I've gotten older and I know who the hell I am. I'm Ryan. That's who I am. I'm 24 years old and I live in middle of nowhere of Canaan, Vermont. I hate this place. There's nothing here. But I'll get this way. I'm a bit of a selfish, no good piece of shit. Is that it's next to, there's a library here, there's a grocery store here. It's only 45 minutes away from my riding lessons. Can't complain there, because at this point, it's the only thing that's keeping me afloat. Without my riding lessons, I might as well be dead. So, it's one thing that, you know, no one can take away from me. It doesn't matter who the hell you are, you can't take that away from me. If I still had my horses, that'd be one less problem, but, well, they are now since passed, all three of them. So I have to resort to what I do now. I live through other people who have horses. Or, of course, and I ride, but not the same. But, I don't know, maybe I'll do this again when I'm not in tears over absolutely nothing and I'm frustrated about everything that's under the sun. I need a haircut. But, maybe. I have no idea. This is Ryan. I'll talk again at some point.